after the Phantom Menace, I just want to say thanks to Kyle for all the friendly reviews that we get on our Athlon processors. Thanks to y'all for coming out Quakecon on a Saturday, a beautiful day. It's only like 85 degrees in Texas. That's a Phantom Menace of itself. But thanks so much for coming out. Thanks to Hard OCP for having us out. And we're excited to be here. We've got the world's best processors, the Athlon 64. Yeah! The Athlon 64FX processor, which I created myself. It's a fun project, but hope you guys like it. And it's the best damn processor for June 3, and that's why we're here. So let's open up the forum with any, I guess, questions as to how this thing goes.
We all have.
Yes, sir.
Some people that design dies
I heard about a fraction of the question.
He asked if you etch any art into the die itself, like some people do.
You bet we do. We etch it everywhere. Usually it comes down to... the question was, do we etch things into the silicon when we make the microprocessors, when we design them and then when they're made in Fab 30 in Dresden? The answer is absolutely. We've etched all kinds of things in there. We've etched the state of Texas. Some other things we've had fun with are things to do with our friends in blue out in Santa Clara, California. So we etch all kinds of interesting things out there.
Just make sure to repeat the questions they asked.
Okay. Oh, we have a mic. Excellent. Other questions? There's a guy way in the back. There's folks everywhere. Sir? The question is, how many people are on the design team at AMD for, I guess, maybe K7 and K8? Typically, I was on the K7 design team. We had approximately 140 people on that design team, including people that did RTL code, implementation, verification, layout, and things of that nature. So in comparison to other microprocessor design companies, it's a fraction of what an Army might be at somewhere else. But I think the end results speak for themselves. The Athlon, which was the K7 processor, was quite a smoking processor, first one to gigahertz. It pretty much lit up our competitor and brought their head out of the sand. If you look at the K8 product, which is Athlon 64 and Athlon 64FX and Opteron, it is hands down the best processor you can get with the most features at a compelling price and offers the best value. So how can you argue with a team of 140? The question is, what did we do from a design standpoint to compensate for some of the heat out of the K8, or moving to K8 from K7 in consideration in light of what our competitors doing with some of their international baking ovens? Everybody seen that little flash, right? The little flash demo where the guy comes on, he's like the Cookomatic 2000. Anybody seen that flash demo floating around the web? Yeah, a few people have. Anyways, well, first off, let's set the playing field kind of level here. Designing microprocessors that have 105, 110 million transistors in them, they generate heat, and they generate a lot of heat. And that trend's never going to go away. It's been increasing over time, and it's going to continue to increase as we move forward. So don't look for things to get any cooler as we move forward in the future. Second of all, when we moved to K8, we did some dynamic clocking inside the microprocessor, allow us to switch off certain parts of it, do things of that nature that cut down on the power consumption. But I think the biggest contributing factor to how we got the power down was SOI technology, something we licensed from IBM and did silicon on insulator process technology. And I think that was the biggest contributor because it really cut down a lot of the parasitics in the process and just made it consume less power. Yes, sir. Yes. The question is, when can we expect consumers to move beyond the x86 instruction set? That's been an ongoing debate since the dawn of time in the PC industry in the 1980s, and we're still debating it 22, 23, 24 years later. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. There's a small little company in Redmond, Washington that seems to be pretty keen on the x86 architecture. I don't see them budging off of it anytime soon to move to something like Linux. I think x86 is going to be around for quite some time. People have always tried to predict its demise and its death in the industry, and it certainly hasn't happened. And x86 has continued to grow and produce more powerful architectures and chips and system architectures to go with it. And I think it still has a lot of years in life ahead of it, especially with AMD 64 technology that extends us and bridges us on the 64-bit technology. Allows you to run all your 32-bit applications at the same time. What a beautiful hybrid design. So I think we have a lot of years left into it. Somewhere down the road we'll get to 128-bit computing. Maybe when my children have grandchildren, who knows. But it's going to be a long ways down the road, and I think x86 will be around for several more decades. Yes, sir?
What can you tell us about the K9?
What can I tell you about K9? Well, unfortunately, I can't tell you much of anything about K9. But maybe I'll head off a few other questions and we can talk about